Okay, hello and welcome. Chris here, T-Titan, and in this video I'm going to walk you through the one-click designer software and show you how it works. So first things first though, before you get started, be sure to read the quick start guide for the basics on how to use not just the one-click designer but the entire process, the Titan 2 process. So there's just tons and tons of information here that will kind of give you the background on how the one-click designer works and also generally how Titan 2.0 works and how we can start making money selling t-shirts. Also be sure to read and review the Titan 1 package as well, which is included along with Titan 2. So that's kind of the full size system for Titan. There's over 8 hours of training and 4 software tools. And you can kind of think of Titan 1 as the first guide, the kind of full-size system. Titan 2's come along and automated and simplified a lot of what was in Titan 1, but it's still good to go back and manually kind of review and understand the process and kind of where we've come from. And so once you understand the basics, whether that you've gone through the quick start guide or you've also reviewed Titan 1, we can actually start using the software. And really there were 2 parts to Titan 2. The first is we want to launch as many campaigns as possible, and the way we do that is by creating lots of t-shirt designs in proven niches and then quickly uploading them to Teespring or Fabrily and then driving traffic to them. And the first part of that really is creating the actual designs in these proven niches, and we do that with the one-click designer. And then the second part is once we're actually getting traffic on Facebook, we want to very quickly work out which campaigns aren't going to make us money and quickly kill them off and predict the winners using the social formula software tool. And I'll cover that in another video. But what I want to do here is just talk about the one-click designer. So it's basically a software tool that's preloaded with over 100 template designs, and it allows us to create proven t-shirt designs very quickly. So here's how the process works. The first thing we want to do is browse through the niches provided. There's actually 150, not 100, and they're all profitable. They're all proven for the summer of 2015. We can also add our own niches very easily, which I'll show you in just a moment. And we then tweak some keywords, which we can do by brainstorming using suggested links. We can also upload an image, create our designs, review and tweak them if needed, and then we grab the design images, upload them to Teespring or Fabrily and start driving Facebook ads. Now this final step here, uploading to Teespring or Fabrily, and the Facebook part, that is covered inside the quick start guide, which you can get from the members area. What I'm going to focus on here though are the first 3 steps of the process. So this is the one-click designer, and essentially the way that the tool works is really it's a 4-part system. So firstly we have 100 designs that are loaded into the software, and we can determine which designs appear using these different checkboxes and these kind of types and categories of designs. So generally if it's an English speaking country, so the United States, Canada, Australia or the United Kingdom, then what we'll want to do is have all of these boxes checked so we can see all of the designs. If it's a German, Italian or French, then we'll do the opposite and uncheck all of the boxes here. Okay. If we ever want to return, by the way, to a blank page, just click the one designer button at the top and we'll just kind of return back to where we started. But basically the kind of 2 fundamental parts of the one-click designer are the interaction of these 2 sections here. And basically when we start off, the niches that we choose up here will determine the words that appear down here. So you can see if I select photographer, then the words here become photographer, shooting, camera focused, pilot, pilot flying, playing cool, engineer. You can see it keeps on changing whatever I choose up here, and that's kind of a key thing to understand. But basically if we click on niche categories, you'll see there are 4 different categories. We have professions, which are things people do for a living, pets, which are animals that people have, hobbies, things that people do for passion, and a kind of miscellaneous, which is a catch-all. So if I choose professions, you'll see that we have all these different professions that we can choose from. If I choose photographer, for example, then you'll see that the words that appear down here will relate to that particular niche. And then if I click create t-shirt designs, it will then create designs using those words that I've kind of entered up here basically. We can also edit these words so we can easily, not just put the words that are suggested, but put our own words in. But in order to do that, the first thing is we need to actually understand what the words mean. And there's 4 categories of words currently. We may add more in the future. The first is profession. So this is something people do for a living. So trust me, I'm a firefighter. And it doesn't even have to be a profession, it just needs to be something that you could replace the word profession with. So it could be, trust me, I'm a pit bull mom, trust me, I'm a dog lover, trust me, I'm an iguana mama. It can be anything like that that would kind of grammatically fit into that kind of sentence. We then have verb, which is a doing word. So this girl loves riding, I'd rather be running right now, that kind of thing. It's generally ing words. And then we have object, which is an object or a pet or something like that. So this girl loves her pit bull. If I can't take my motorbike, I'm not going. Then we have adjective, which maybe for, say, a soldier could be patriotic. For a firefighter could be proud. For an engineer could be intelligent. That kind of thing. So we can really put whatever we want into these boxes, even without using the options up here, and it will then determine what designs appear down here, basically. But to keep things simple, I'll just choose a well-known profession, which is the nurse profession. Since we want to focus on the English language initially, I'm going to uncheck the languages box. You'll see that it's suggested different words that have appeared here. We can also upload an image, by the way, and if you upload an image, then what I would suggest is keep it a simple white one color image in most cases. You can also choose a black image, but ideally keep it 1 or 2 colors in PNG format as well, and that generally works quite well. The way to find these is to go to Google, and whatever the niche is, go to Google Images rather, and put in the niche and then icon white PNG. So for example, firefighter icon white PNG, or nurse icon white PNG. And the reason that we want to do that is because we want a simple image for 2 reasons. The first reason is if the image is very complicated and uses a lot of colors, well then basically the way Teespring and Faberly work is they charge us a lot for each color. So this here may be something like 100 colors or something, so it probably wouldn't even print anyway, but if it did, they'd be charging us like $50 per t-shirt, and obviously we can't be selling a t-shirt at $50 and making money. So essentially we want something that's, this has got a watermark on it, and we do need, by the way, to make sure that we have full copyright to any image that we use. But yeah, you can see that something like this, or potentially like this, would be more in line of kind of what we're after. So you can upload an image as well, and the benefit of uploading images is that it will then allow you to use designs that include images. You'll basically get access to more designs when you click this button here. In case you're wondering, trying to think of ideas that that relate to these niches, you can also click these links here, and it'll load up different searches. So it'll load up for the niche that you've selected here. It will then load up suggestions on Facebook, on Google, on eBay, Amazon, and Pinterest. So for example, you can click on images and have a kind of quick browse through and sort of look for different words. So maybe the word rescue, maybe you see that a lot. You can go back, and instead of saving lives, you can put rescuing, for example. You can just kind of scroll through the images. Doctor, maybe that's one. Maybe great as like an adjective, so maybe we can go back and put great in there. You can experiment, by the way, with lowercase and uppercase. Generally uppercase will work, so capitals, but occasionally you can put lowercase in too, and see how that looks. So you can kind of browse around these links here for additional ideas of replacement words that you can put here. Once you're happy with everything, once you've chosen your category types, you've entered your words, you've uploaded an image if applicable, click the button, and within a couple of seconds it will go and basically create your template designs. Now, one thing to bear in mind is the designs won't initially be perfect, so you might have to go back and change a word, click the button again. Occasionally it won't be grammatical, so it might say the design might work well with rescue, but it might not work with rescuing, so the tense might be wrong, it might be singular instead of plural. If that happens, just go back, change the word, click the button again, and then download the correct design. Once you're happy with the design, just click the button, and it'll download straight to your computer, and then you can upload it straight to Teespring or Fably. You'll notice, I mean, this one here, I am loved by a syringe. Yeah, that kind of works. But then we also are going to get some others that maybe aren't too grammatical, or there's a slight issue with them, and that's kind of fine. We can always go back and just amend them. I forgot to get rid of that. But I mean, that's pretty much how the software tool works, really. And I think that really kind of covers it. It's relatively simple to use, and I think we've kind of covered most of the basics. One thing I do want to talk about though as well is the one-click designer feature, which is one of my favorites, which is the multi-language feature. And this is basically the ability to create t-shirts for non-English countries. Now at the moment we've got additional support for 3 languages, German, French and Italian, and together there's 80 million Facebook users in those countries. And the great thing is it's really an untapped market. So we've already got the 150 actually proven niches in the United States, where people are making loads of money, and everyone's launching campaigns. But in these countries, for those niches, there's very, very little competition. So the way that this one works is we essentially carry on as we did before. So we choose profession, we choose nurse or whatever. Again, because we're targeting a non-English one, we'll uncheck all of them apart from language. And then what we do is we just click this button here, and not all of the words will change to every language, but essentially it will then change it from English to German to French and to Italian. Okay, so German, spritz, French, I'm not going to try and pronounce that, and then Italian, and then back to English, syringe, saving lives, French, and Italian. So it's very, very cool, very powerful feature. And so if, for example, I just click all 4 of these buttons, you'll notice certain words are the same in both English and also in other non-English languages. But if I just click the button there, then you'll see that we have a large number of perfect German designs. Now if we keep on scrolling, you'll see that we also have an Italian one, we also have a French one as well, and we're going to be adding more and more of these, and we can also actually add an image, and then that will increase the number of designs that appear and bring in some additional ones. So and what we can do, by the way, is if you're not sure, because obviously this isn't in English, if you don't know what design means, just hover over it, and as you can see, it'll appear hot single German. So okay, so it's in the German language, hot single nurse. Again, let's hover over this one. Trust me, I'm a, in German, so trust me, I'm a nurse. It's a nurse thing you won't understand in German. I love my nurse. I can't keep calm, I'm a nurse. All I care about is a syringe and maybe like 3 people, so maybe for that one we'd have to turn it into plural. Single taken, I'm a nurse, I don't date losers, etc, etc. When we see one we're happy with, just click the design button and download it, and that's pretty much it. When it comes to actually uploading the designs, again, of course, we'll want to launch them on Fably, because that's where that's basically the site that we use to sell in Europe. We don't use Teespring. Teespring's for North America. Fably is for Europe, essentially. And what we do is we provide wording to put on Fably for those 3 languages. So I think it's a bit further down, but it is here. There we go. So if you scroll down to like page 17, you'll see that we've got the text that you actually put on your page. So on Fably, you put the text in there. It kind of looks like that. In English, that's what you get. That's what you put in French. That's what you put in German, and that's pretty much it. And one other thing as well, before I forget, all of these designs are deliberately done so that they're grammatical. So certain languages and certain phrases will vary dependent on things like tense and gender and things like that. All of the designs here included to work with as many possible combinations as possible to reduce the chances of you launching a design that doesn't work in the particular language or isn't grammatical. So these should all work in many, many different use cases. One other thing I want to show you as well while we're talking about targeting, or while we're talking about foreign languages, is very quickly I want to show you Facebook targeting. So here you can see I've got audience insights open for the Facebook niche of accountants, okay, and you can see I've got an audience of 2 million people, pretty big audience, got a various number of terms in here, pretty big list, almost all of them targeted though. And what I want to show you here is basically, you can see I've got United States and we've got 2 million people. But what's cool is if I change that to Germany, the exact same targeting, all English words, and then remove the United States, we've still got 25 to 30,000 people, even though all of these are English essentially. And the reason for that is because in a lot of cases, you'll find that what actually happens is in all these countries, two things happen. Firstly, people will still like English phrases because they speak English. So people in France and Germany and Italian will speak English as a second language, and so they'll still like all of these things, and they'll still be able to converse to a basic level in English. They'll still like English pages and English interests and things of that nature. But the second thing is Facebook will also actually do some level of translation for you, and that kind of makes it slightly easier for us to actually do our targeting basically. But the second way that we can do targeting, aside from just kind of what I'm saying is take a United States campaign and literally just change the country, and that's kind of your targeting. The second way that we can do it is with an unadvertised kind of bonus feature, which is within the one-click designer. So if we go and we choose our niche, so profession, and let's say firefighter is our niche, and we want to target that in German, so we've got our German design. We want to target, let's say, let me just change all these to German, click on create t-shirt designs, and let's say that we want to launch this and start selling it to German firefighters. Trust me, I'm a firefighter in German. Then we know that this is the German word for firefighter, but what's really cool is we can now get this word, which we've just translated we've translated directly inside. Let me just redo that. Just bring that back, I'm afraid. There we go. We can take this word here and just copy and paste it is what I was trying to do, and go straight back over to audience insights. Let me just paste this in, and we can actually enter this word. Let me just get rid of all of these, and let me just enter the word again so I can just type it out. And sometimes it'll let you enter it in, sometimes you'll have to type it, and you can basically put the word in. So you can see here we've got firefighter challenge, German fire service. So you can see we start putting our words in that we've just pulled directly from the one-click designer. We can start putting those words in and dropping them directly into the tool. So let me just try it with another one, mechanic. Okay, so we could try that for France, and we can just start basically taking the words that appear here as translated and drop them directly into audience insights. So it makes for a very kind of powerful one-two whammy in terms of targeting. So that's essentially the one-click designer in a nutshell. I'll return to this with some additional videos as we progress and as we add more features, but do refer to the quick start guide as well, and hopefully this video was of use to you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.